This is grade 5, module 3, lesson 6, and the objective in this lesson is to subtract fractions from numbers between 1 and 2. So our example that we're going to look at comes from the homework, and this is number 1, letter D. And the directions for this one says, for the following problems, draw a picture using the rectangular fraction model and write the answer. Simplify your answer if possible. So our problem is 1 and 1/8, and we're subtracting 3/5. So again, we're going to do the rectangular fraction model, so let me set that up. To represent 1 and 1/8, we need to have two rectangles because it's more than one. So this fraction model right here, the rectangular fraction model, represents one whole, and then this one is going to be the 1/8. So let me section this into 8 parts. Oop. Okay, and again, I'm going to shade in 1/8 on that. Actually, I'm just going to do my brackets to show. So this whole thing from right here to here is 1 and 1/8. So we're going to be taking away 3/5 of that, and I'm actually going to I'm going to section this one off as well, and I'm going to find a common denominator. So when I'm putting in my rows and columns, I had 8 columns and I sectioned them into 5 rows. I have a common denominator of 40. So I'm going to write 1 and blank 40. Okay. And how many? So I have 1 and 1/8. So that equivalent fraction would be 1, and then this is 5 out of 40, because let me just put them in yellow here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the only section we're talking about in that rectangular fraction model. So I have to subtract 3/5. So I'm going to mark it in red here. So it's this 1, 2, 3 out of 5. And how many sections would that be out of 40? And it would be 24 out of 40 sections. So I need to have 1 and 5/40 subtract or minus 24/40. So I'm going to, you can go ahead and count the remaining sections to get your answer, and it would be, so if the students are counting up the remaining sections, they'll get 21. So they could also change 1 and 5/40 to 45/40, subtract 24/40, and still have an answer of 21/40. Eventually they'll be moving on to that method. Okay, so let's move on to homework problem number 3, and it reads, Jackson has 1 3/8 kilograms of fertilizer. He used some to fertilize a flower bed, and he only has 2/3 kilograms left. How much fertilizer was used in his flower bed? So first thing is our target sentence, and it reads, Jackson used blank kilograms of fertilizer. Okay, so we know that Jackson had 1 3/8 kilograms of fertilizer. We're not sure how much he used in the flower bed, but we do know that he had 2/3 of a kilogram left. So the problem will be 1 3/8 minus 2/3. Okay, here's my rectangular fraction model, and we are actually only talking about 1 3/8, so that's going to be this whole section right here, so it's 1 3/8. Now I need to find the common denominator, so I'm going to be partitioning what we have here. I'm going to be putting in my 3 rows. Okay, and we're going to be taking away 2/3 of the 1 3/8. So I'm going to just use a different color, just coloring in 2/3 of that. And I'm going to take it from this side here. So I have 1 3/8, and I'm subtracting 2/3. So this is all taken out. The remaining that's left is going to be here. And it would be, actually let me put it down here. So with the common denominator of 24, it's 1 9/24 minus 16/24. So Jackson used 17/24 kilogram of fertilizer. Now in the next lessons, we'll be changing 1 9/24, and we make that an improper fraction. So it would be 33 minus 16, which is still going to be 17/24.